we'll actually be able to meet Catherine. Oh, wow. So, this is a code. In order to get to Catherine, we have to figure this out. So, Catherine code. So we have Tink, Crick, and like a chime. Looks like we can go up anyway, but maybe that code allows the gate to come down?
Yafe Adik. You made it. But how'd you get past Gehn? He must really believe I've gone mad. I know what he's doing. He's watching you. He's waiting for you to make a mistake. He's hoping you'll lead him back to Dunny. You can't let Gehn... Atrus sent you to save me. But if Gehn gets back to Dunny, he'll kill him. Find the Moiety. They have the book. Be careful. Go then. If you won't help me, then I have nothing more to say.
Alright then, we don't have the option to move yet. So, the thing is, I think I know where to find the Moiety. I think they're in that tunnel. It's the only place that we haven't really been able to go to. And I'll have to find the chime puzzle later. So we'll be on our way back here. And then I suppose we have to go back to the village and try with all our might to get into that secret chamber. Because that's the only place that we haven't really been able to succeed in traversing. I think we've done everything on the Wood Age. We've done everything we can on the main gold age. It's the village. It has to be the village. All right, let's see if we can get in. Because unless there's something else I've missed inside the jail cell, I can't really think of another way to do this. Was there a button out there or something? No. Must have been seeing things. There was nothing with the other button. No. Oh, are they gonna sound the alarm? So Gehn is trying to pit us against Catherine, believing her to be mad so that we sympathize with him. It's closed again. Well, we want to get back in there. Okay, I don't see anything else in this cell. So let's try this again. Maybe now that we've spoken with Gehn, it won't shunt us out again. Please work this time. Please work. I don't want to be continually set back. I mean, it could have even been glitching because I'd gotten here. No. No. Oh. So, I'll try this again. Maybe if I stay facing forward and don't do anything, I'll be alright. Because I know that when we initially meet the Moiety, we're like captured, and this would seem like the perfect place for it. Oh, what's this? A light? I never saw these before. A side chamber? Oh, so it was glitching out because I would just get to the end and... Huh. This is it. This is the animal room. So, let me see. Animals, animals, animals. So, what animals have we seen? We've seen the beetle, which is number 2. We've seen the wark, which is the woo whale. We've seen the frog, which is the creek-crook, which is number 3. For some reason, though, I feel like we haven't seen them all. Now, there was a whoosh whoosh. Let's look at all the animals. We haven't seen any aardvarks. We haven't seen any rabbits. Haven't seen any hippos. Oh, those are the sunbathers. Haven't seen that kind of beetle. Not that kind of fish. Not that kind of creature. Haven't seen that. Nope, that's a different type of frog. That's a bird. And that's like an armadillo. That's the frog. That's a whale, but a traditional whale. A rhinoceros? A crab? Some kind of like skipper thing. A dragonfly? A fish? An aardvark? And the wark? Unfortunately, I haven't seen half these animals, but this is definitely the Moiety symbol. I have not seen half these animals. Oh, well, there's the big fish. So... yeah, we haven't found number 4. There's the beetle. Well, maybe I'll do that. Because the whoosh whoosh could be the fish. 2. 3 frog. I haven't found another 4. I mean, we have the sunbathers. We've definitely seen those. And the warks. Did I get it? Yes. Yeah, those are the animals that we saw. I just didn't have the 4th marble because it was probably floating in the water or elsewhere. I don't know, but it's opening. Sunbathers. Well, I suppose that's process of elimination. We saw the beetle, we saw the frog, we saw the warg, we saw the fish. The sunbathers and the number 4 we just had never come across before. So this is the type of stone that the Moiety uses. Well, we can make contact with the Moiety. And this is the image that you see on all the covers of the game. It's this tree that's been made into like a city. And this is also probably the same age or place where they're able to get this special metal. Now, isn't that an iconic site? Oh, 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 ah! Oh, it's the prisoner that we freed and the assassin. Ah! We were captured. They seem to be dragging me. Sort of half awake. Maybe they're taking a boat across the water? I wonder how we'll be able to explain our situation, that the book that they have is a prison age, intended for Gehn. And if Gehn thinks that that's a link back to Denis, then we can capture him. So that's where we came from. And that's sort of like a bowl. Hello? Anyone? Oh, there's the dart shooter, assassin kind of guy. It's so beautiful in here. It's like a bunch of smaller trees with clay-like hive structures that people have built atop them. Hello, everyone? Anyone? Don't tell me I have to make a great escape. Oh, is someone coming?
Katarina e now da saya palo. Yapa ay manay yelepo.
She's giving us back the book.
Bekaretere wirape yelo kene falapo. Tisay. Why te fulupe?
I wonder if she's giving this to us not on the orders of anyone there, if she's actually helping us escape. Yeah, he's just standing watch. We have two things. Huh. Is this like Catherine's journal? I linked to Riven a week ago. The smell of the plants, or is it? The place. It's the place. The smell of the place overwhelmed me moments before I could see anything. With my sight only partly cleared, I stood motionless, peering ahead through the dim veil which was slowly drifting or shifting. There was a violent clang, and remember breathing slowly and very deeply, testing the familiar Riven air, but not recognizing a thing. I must have been hit with the dart right away. I thought it was an insect bite at first. I'm trying to remember it all. But it's difficult. Maybe because of the drug. There was a voice. A man I did not recognize stood before me. Ritimus? Though he was wearing Denis dress. Oh, she must know the name. He seemed to be talking to me, but the poison was already taking effect. A shadow crept in and I fell asleep. Sorry, guys. This cursive is a little difficult to read. Then there were the many voices, but I understood none of them. Like hundreds of people whispering, I couldn't wake up. No matter. The dream did end, and now, to be here with Eddie? It's been so many years. I didn't realize how much I missed her. Like a piece of me that I had forgotten I had lost. She's beautiful, and so full of warmth. But the years have also left her with a wound which was not there when we were children. I do wish you were more interested. I write quickly. Oh, this is Catherine. I write quickly from my prison. Nalak will return you the book which the Moiety intercepted upon your arrival. After questioning her, I've concluded that it was written by Atrus for a very specific purpose. Gehn will desire to use it, although he may have suspicions. If you can find my prison, you will still need the combination to release me. Gehn keeps it in his office. Then I assume, where to sign Atrus? Oh, we're to signal Atrus. I see. So she wants us to free her using a combination from Gehn's study, which we can only achieve if we actually capture him. And then we have to signal. I think I know how it might be done. But don't signal him before I'm released. Well, you know that. The whole age might fall apart. It's been so many years, I didn't realize how much I missed her. Okay. Seems like I'm asking all the questions. It's awkward. No one asks me where I've been, what I've been doing. This hurts. But I understand it. Their beliefs are from out of ignorance and oppression. They are gentle people. But they've had their something but destroyed. And now they frantically cling to anything that might save them. So maybe there are other peoples from different ages or places or islands that have come back and tried to see what happened to the people before Gehn took over or something. I don't know. But why have they chosen to cling to me? I'm confused. As a child, I always felt out of place here. I never belonged. They understood me, and I couldn't relate to them. But now I'm overwhelmed by an intense feeling that I am everything to them and this place. Or it's I owe everything to them in this place. I thought I would never see them again, and yet I'm here. I've been given the second chance. But a second chance of what? Saving them? Fulfilling their prophecies? Being their savior? Oh, so this is Catherine's journal. The Moiety. Atrus would want me to chronicle all that I have learned, can at least record some of it. It seems that when Atrus and I trapped Gehn on Riven many years ago, our efforts were witnessed by most of the inhabitants here. 2 of the Rivenese even witnessed the confrontation with Gehn at the fissure, where I linked back to Myst and where Atrus threw himself into the abyss. Of course, they understand little of what they were seeing, but they somehow were able to grasp of what we had done. That Gehn was no god at all, but only a feeble impostor, a false god, and that we had trapped him here on Riven. I always hoped that they would deduce this simple truth, but their further conclusions have astonished me. Atrus has stripped Gehn of his power, therefore Atrus must be their true god. As a god, he is choosing me, the spiritual misfit from the Rivenese womb, to be his wife. I was transcending into a deity that could lord over Riven forever. Oh, so the people thought that because Atrus overthrew his father, that he was more of a god than him, and that therefore Catherine, being his wife and also one of their people, was a deity as well? Thus the Moiety, as they call themselves, have grown a dissident society, sworn enemies of Gehn. I did not know of their beliefs regarding Atrus and myself until 2 days ago. Eddie was, for some reason, hesitant to tell me. I can't figure out why. I know she doesn't believe these things. Of course, everyone else assumed that I would be aware of my own god status, so they made no effort to inform me. I only realized it after a recent gathering to which I was invited. I sat at the front of the dimly lit and crowded cave as they told a mythical story of my own life, acting out the battle between Atrus, myself, and Gehn at the edge of the fissure. The events had been exaggerated into grandiose proportions. It was offensive. But I was unable to stop it. I was unable to break the illusion, which is the very foundation of their hope and their purpose, and which has given them courage to band together and rebel against Gehn. Since then, I've learned of other doctrines and beliefs that have evolved, the most disturbing of which is the conviction that one day I would return to Riven to free them. Some believe that I will overthrow Gehn. Others believe that I will bring them to paradise. And then they're written something here. I don't know how to deal with this. I fight it myself. I love these people, my own real kindred, but they will not love me as an equal, which hurts me. I would rather be their slave than their master. And there are some scribbles. Over the years, as Gehn's powers become greater and greater, the Moiety's numbers have grown. And they have become more and more adept at hiding themselves. They now live in a complex network of caves that's still not discovered. The Moiety, for the most part, have completely severed their relationship with any of the Rivenese that chose against joining them. Okay, so they try to get them to join, but there are people that refuse them. But I hope they're not sacrificed something limbs. Oh, but I hope they've not sacrificed vital limbs in order to remove the concern. Cancer. So that means she hopes that they haven't violently fought against people who don't join them. Even Father and Anant are still on the surface of Gehn's domains. Oh, so her father's still here? And I long to see them. But a dimness shrouds Eddie's face every time I've mentioned them. Oh, maybe they've died. Since this break took place, they've interfered with the surface in superficial ways, occasionally sabotaging one of Gehn's constructions or stealing food from the villages. They wear strange masks and costumes during their forces into... So when they send their forces onto the surface. And they take it very seriously, refusing to be seen by anyone outside the Moiety. Unless they are properly offered? They get much pleasure out of the fact that those on the surface are frightened by their costumes, calling them evil spirits or ghosts. It's during one of these expeditions that they fortunately rescued me from one of Gehn's commands or squads when I first appeared on the island. Otherwise, I'm certain I would have been delivered to Gehn immediately. I doubt that he's now searching for me. Of course, I am now aware that I was fooled. Atrus is not here. I was at first devastated by this realization, but I am thankful that he would be in extreme peril here also. There is a quiet inner voice, an echoing remnant that wants him far away. Okay, I've just witnessed an age dying, grasping at its breath. Today, I ventured to the surface to see what had become of this island. I had hoped that it would not be as bad as the Moiety had reported. It was worse. They become slowly accustomed to its steady decay, but I was devastated. The lips from which the kiss is wrought has fallen words, will fall cold breath. The womb from which the cry released is softened, burnt, will suffer death. Wait, what will suffer death? It's some kind of poem. To get to the surface, we had to travel through a complex series of doors and passages. Before the last of these doors, they offered me a weapon, which I accepted, and then a mask. I held the mask in my hands for a while, wondering what sort of terror it might invoke in those members of my family who still live on the surface. But I also know that I must keep my identity hidden from Gehn's ever-vigilant eye, and I accepted it as well. Then, together, we swam a short expanse and emerged out of the surface of the ocean under a rocky overhang. The harsh sunlight made my eyes sting, but the fresh, rich air was exhilarating after these past weeks in the dank caves. The two men with me were silent, communicating only with signals. Then, 3 of us emerged from our hiding place and made our way to the top of the plateau. At the edge of the overgrown area, there was a forest. They stopped, peered through the foliage for a moment, and then turned to me, as if awaiting my command, but could not respond. In fact, I found it difficult to move. Oh, did something happen to her? Did she get darted or something? Oh, I was smelling, hearing, and breathing my youth. Oh, okay, so she was just stopped cold in the forest, seeing everything. This swept over me in a matter of seconds, but in seconds more, the feeling was gone. There was a numbness. We did not stay long on the surface, but it was enough to see the worst. Riven, which was once an island, was split apart into 5 distinct pieces, about half a mile apart. 4 of these had been claimed by Gehn as his exclusive domain. Only his ministers and personal military elite have ever been allowed access to them. From my vantage point at the edge of the forest, I could see 3 of these islands. They are stripped of their former beauty and are riddled with Gehn's self-absorbed constructions. The Moiety merely visit these closely guarded places. There is another island which I could not see, and it had evidently crept away a terrific distance. The Moiety are very unclear as to what exists on the island, except that for the fact that they know that this is where the great tree used to exist. The forest is located on the island. That the surface dwellers in the Moiety still refer to it as Riven, that they also still refer to their entire world as Riven. This island where the village is which changed dramatically. Okay. It is also the one remaining province of my people. Gehn's influence can be seen everywhere. So these are like some of the connections between the islands. Of course, I know the reason for fracturing of the island. The Moiety do not. Gehn wrote this place, and it will die, as all of Gehn's ages eventually die. I feel nothing today. I am nothing. I live in a cave on a dying world, inhabited by people that... they're treating me so strangely. They don't know how to relate to a god. I'm still an outcast here, they whisper amongst themselves, talking of my bravery during my excursion to the surface. How I walked across the island, bold and unafraid. They don't know me. Even Eddie is uncomfortable around me. At times, there is no awkwardness, and I am only Katron. That was her name before. Atrus made it more Americanized, I suppose, anglicized, by calling him Catherine instead of Katron to her. But at other times, I am something else. I'm afraid. There's such a great numbness inside me. Today, I do not feel closeness with my people. Neither am I offended by their worship of me. I do not hate Gehn. I don't feel anything. I'm not even sure if... At least, Nayla is still close. And she's starting to scribble various things. I am boiling. I am... Gehn is making and writing books. I wish they had told me sooner. Atrus should have realized this would happen, of course. Gehn would have written all of his materials necessary to the Denis craft in making books into his own age, and probably every other age that he ever wrote. He is attempting to write his way out of here. We did not imprison him. We only delayed him. This age has become his factory, and the people are his mechanics and machines, all laboring in his mad pursuit to become a god, to carry on his noble Denis cause. So far, he has not been able to produce a fully functioning book. Atrus has never believed in destiny, but I don't know what else to call it. It's too perfect. It's too much of a coincidence. They hang on my every word, although they do not understand them. I'm in their hope. And now I have returned. I owe this to them. There is no choice. Oh, so this is the lever. You have to turn it over to open up the fissure. It's been a long time since my last entry. It is hard to recognize, but I have found the star fissure. It's located on the island which the Rivenese call Aleppo, meaning the water pool, but which is referred to by the Moiety as Albetuan, meaning pool of the stars. Oh, that's the code. That's the code to open the star fissure, but I don't want to use it yet. Star fissure code. Having once allowed Atrus to escape this age without leaving an open door behind us, it has since been sealed with a skin of heavy iron. A crude telescope has been mounted over the locked viewport, the combination of which I acquired from the Moiety before my arrival. So it's the number 4, 3, 1, 3, and 5. 4, 3, 1, 3, 5. In the early days, the Moiety... Oh, there's a stop? Okay. I'll write that down just in case. In the early days, the Moiety, seeking an escape from Riven, briefly pursued the idea of opening the fissure. They discovered a small mechanical stop to prevent the scope from hitting the portal window. Ultimately, however, they decided against opening it. I'd hate to think what would have happened to them if they had not left it alone. I instructed them to stay away from it. I am almost certain that, with the decaying state of the islands, opening the fissure would be their destruction. I have heard that in the days immediately following Gehn's confinement? Yes. Gehn's confinement on Riven, he attempted to determine the feasibility of navigating the stars beneath the fissure. For he had seen the Myst book fall from Atrus's hands into the very same space. To this end, he would have people, alleged transgressors of the law, thrown into it. Oh, so aside from feeding people to the wargs, he was also throwing people into the fissure? So that he could observe their fate. This telescope, which still stands there, had to be built for these callous experiments. It is said that they did not die, but what became of them remains a mystery. It appears that the limits of Gehn's options prevented him from learning of their fate. Oh, from the optics. The limits of Gehn's optics prevented them from learning of their fate. The star field beneath the fissure is not as it seems. It is a gentle space, as hospitable to life as a flowing river. This is how Atrus explained it after he had fallen into it, but much more than that we've never understood, and we were never able to conclude upon its origins. But the visions tell me that it is from out of the will of the Maker perhaps from some greater purpose that we cannot yet understand. I still remember Atrus's words from his journal. I realized the moment I fell into the fissure that the book would not be destroyed as I had planned. It continued falling into that starry expanse. There must be some greater reason behind it. I neglected to mention it earlier. The unique shape of one of the great fissures which appeared during the days from Riven. The very design that stands vertically at the end of the Albatron? Okay, something. It has been adopted by the Moiety, the symbol of their cause. It is a sacred symbol for them. It is a representation of all of their doctrines and their representation of me. To deface this symbol is sacrilege. They have their own mythical explanation regarding its sudden origins, and I haven't told them that I wrote it into their age, along with all the other daggers. It's strange how such a young religion can be so unbending, even to their own god. I have tried to dissuade them of the notion that symbols contain so much power. The enemy uses this against them. They're fearful of Gehn's symbol, and they are terrorized by his symbolic use of the wark. But they don't want to hear this from me. Perhaps my attempts have been caused by some of the younger members of the Moiety to doubt that I am Catherine. Ooh. Maybe that they handed her over? My rare encounters with those who say they follow Gehn have been discouraging. I have hoped to have some communication with the surface villagers, but they always flee from me. But I have heard news of some of the villagers' beliefs regarding Gehn. Soon after we trapped Gehn on Riven, he claimed that he was responsible for the daggers, placing them around the island as a reminder of their failure. In the village circles, it was told that it was a punitive art performed by Gehn to mark the beginning of a period of restitution, at the end of which, if they have proven that their devotion to them, they will be delivered onto the new and better existence. I will continue to try to reach them. Oh, so a lot of the people are staying with Gehn's camp, believing that he's going to be able to write them an age that will get them out. The door is open. Gehn is free? Gehn has the ability to create working books. In fact, he had written one age before I arrived, but has kept this accomplishment so well hidden that only his closest ministers were aware until now. I'm not sure. Perhaps he has written other news. A few years ago, before the Moiety were forced into hiding, some of them managed to steal what appeared to be a test book that Gehn had intended to destroy. It had been partially written, but it did not work. They didn't tell me about it until now because they thought it was useless. Back then, none of Gehn's books worked, but instead of correcting the problem at its source, he blamed it on the impure wood of Riven's forest and proceeded to engineer a mechanical remedy, a complex series of domes to heal his book's inherent flaws. It'd be heal then. One of the consequences of this crude solution, however, was that the domes demanded large amounts of energy, and related problems delayed his success for quite some time. At last, however, he finished his work and is finally able to link to an age, but he kept his success extremely hidden. However, for some reason or another, belligerent pride, he has made modifications to the domes which make it obvious that he is using the domes to breathe life into the half-dead books. Perhaps he means to lure us into using the books in the domes. He can't believe that we would blindly follow him. But he wouldn't know that we have one of the books, the stolen, burnt book. There is a possibility of... Have read the burnt book. The book's age it describes is unsuitable. Oh. It would be unsuitable as a new home to the Moiety. It must be modified. I will dream. Oh, so this is how she wrote this book. I have requested a group to solve a combination that will open the domes. Once open, we can power the burnt book. I do not think Gehn will interfere. He will leave the bait. Okay. So, these are her items. Oh, more drawings of him. I have begun writing the Moiety's age. Now I must acquire a second book from Gehn. There is tension. A strain blurs my vision, and nightmares. Neck and Eddie may close. Stay close. Okay. Much has happened. Almost everything is prepared. We have stolen another book, but I'm concerned. Gehn will miss it. We have also discovered the combinations for entering the domes, but we have not discovered all the methods for powering them. By powering our burnt book with Gehn's domes, we will be able to link to this age. We will only ever have access to the domes for a short period of time before we are discovered. Therefore, we can only use the domes once. I must find another way to make the books work. The gateway images in Gehn's books and the burnt book all seem to share the same sickness. Sort of like the burning of them approaching. If they are not powered, the images are black. It might be possible to clear the vision with only, and this is showing like an energy. We'll write substance into the Moiety age. All is ready. Now all we can do is wait for word from the Moietan-esque, who is here on the lookout for Gehn to power and use the domes. When he does that, we'll have access to one of Gehn's domes just soon enough. After linking to the age which I have written, I only have to locate the book window substance and refine or adapt it. Laying this window over the gateway image should heal the books and make them work. This will allow me to use the second stolen book and return to Riven with more of the book windows. We will then no longer have to rely on Gehn's clumsy tomes. Oh, so she was writing the new material into the other age to let them power their own books. I laugh at these plans. I sound like Atrus. I'm risking my life, but I feel no fear, only anxiety. Perhaps it is the source of my nightmares of the fissure. Like a great wound that is opened, it stains the riven soil with blood. And I hold the Moiety knife. Voices grow so loud. For their part, the Moiety have complete faith that I will accomplish my task and lead them to a better world. It is the fulfillment of their prophecy, but they are also fearful and tense. I don't know what they will think or do if I fail. It is done. It seems too good to be true. I feel like it's all still a dream. We have already evacuated all the Moiety into this new age. It is beautiful, and I am pleased. At least my people will live in safety and comfort. They stand under the bare sky, unafraid and dazzled by the freedom. They are happy, and I have named it Tay. Well, they have named it Tay. They have named it Tay. There's still much to be done. We are not protected yet. The only way to completely safeguard this place is to destroy the book which links us to Riven. But I do not even know how to bring this up to the Moiety. They'll be extremely reluctant about destroying their only link to Riven. I share this hesitation. I'd be cutting off my only connection, but for their sakes it must be done. I am anxious to know if the activities have aroused Gehn's suspicions. If so, we must act quickly. Even so, I feel that now we are impregnable. Tomorrow, I will return to Riven to see Gehn's reaction for myself. But tonight, I finally rest. And that's the prison age. We do not want to go into the prison age. Someone coming for us again?
Sira po. Ibuko mo buko wisipo. Na vene. Tapamore vene beno. Now, Katerine, wisi fapolo yai sepe yai.
Oh, she's probably asking for us to free Catherine. Thank you. Maybe she's Etty? Let's go back. Well, let's trap Gehn.